Hello and welcome to the Homecare Café by Right at Home Mid Hampshire, your go-to podcast for all things home care. In each episode, we'll be sharing insights, tips and stories to help you navigate the world of home care. Whether you're considering services for yourself, a loved one, or if you're a caregiver looking for resources.
Today we're kicking off our first episode by diving into a crucial topic, navigating home care services. We'll be guiding you through the process of choosing the right home care services, discussing what to look for, the questions to ask and how to tailor services to meet your individual needs.
So how are you doing, Chloe?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And you, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm all good. Looking forward to today and getting some information on a tough topic.
Okay, so today, where it's our first episode, we're just going through general home care services and how you can go about organising your first home care. So number one, introduction to home care services. So Chloe, what are home care services and why might someone consider them?
So it's services that we provide as a regulated provider that's going to allow people to stay living independently and safely at home for as long as possible. No place like home, right?
Exactly.
You want to stay right at home?
Yes.
Yes.
What types of home care services are available? So I understand there's personal care, companionship care. Mm-hmm. I assume you can get care for different individual needs.
Yeah, of course. No one's different. Everyone's different, right? So it's not a case of one glove fits all. You can have things from personal care, meal preparation, a bit of companionship, access in the community. We're guided by the needs of our clients.
So you don't necessarily need to be sick to have care?
Not at all. Not at all.
Great. So Chloe, understanding individual needs. How do you assess people's needs?
So before any care can commence, I always like to go out and meet people in their own homes ideally. Just to get an understanding of their care needs and requirements, just to find out about what's important to them and how we can support them. And
do Right at Home charge for that service, Chloe?
No, it's a complimentary service. It's just, it's a good way to start off the working relationship, just to introduce myself so you can put a name to the face, introduce our ways of working, and just help people understand that we're not there to come in and take over, that we're there to hopefully end up being almost like a friend or, like an additional family member that can just come in and just help out and, they'll look forward to us visiting.
I assume it's an important thing to meet with potential clients face to face. You can actually assess with your own eyes rather than just hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can, like I said, you can just start building that relationship so much better if you're in a face-to-face setting than you can over telephone or, from behind a screen.
Yeah. What factors should families consider when assessing their loved one's needs? Like, for example, like physical health, cognitive function?
Yeah, absolutely. So any information that they can give me, I will absolutely take. So any sort of like physical challenges that they may be facing on a daily basis, any cognitive impairment, anything that you think is pivotal for us to be aware of.
Medication,
yeah, absolutely. Any medication with serious side effects, just so we can be extra vigilant.
Yeah, perfect. So when you're tailoring services to people's individual needs, how can services be customised to meet their specific needs?
Well, that's why I like to go out and meet people face to face, just to get a real sense and idea of what's important to them, especially the generation that we're working with at the moment. People are very set in their ways, have particular ways of doing things, so it's important to be able to capture that and to make sure that we can continue providing the service and meeting the needs and expectations of our clients.
So I assume for different individuals, there's not a care package that fits all. Everyone needs their own package that perfectly suits them.
Absolutely. We work off of a person-centred basis. That's what's important to us. Putting the client at the heart of everything that we do. Our right at home family, as we like to say.
Sounds great. Can you give examples of how our care plans are personalised for different clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a minimum contract of 2 hours per week. It could be something as little as going in to see somebody, to make them a cup of tea, to have a chat, to take them shopping, or it could be somebody, you know, that is bedbound, that needs the assistance of 2 carers with, you know, personal care, medication, everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So that's actually, you know, it's a wide range of care that we can provide.
And everything in between. You know, like I said, we go from 2 hours per week right up until live-in care or 24/7 care.
Yeah. And you work alongside like district nurses and things to personalise care plans even more?
Absolutely. Although we're a regulated provider, we're not medical in any capacity, so we need to be able to draw upon other professionals in this industry just so we can make sure that our clients are getting the care and support that they need.
Yeah, I think that's really good for families to know that.
Absolutely.
They will get that.
So Chloe, obviously me, Sarah and yourself work for Right at Home Mid Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
For potential clients or the families of their potential clients, let's say they're seeking care,
Yeah.
when they're researching home care providers, what should they be looking for in a home care provider? What qualities should families look for in a home care provider?
And where can they find that information?
So I always recommend to people to look at a website called homecare.co.uk. I always say to people it's like the TripAdvisor of care providers, if you like. Just allows people to post their experiences with said care providers. So you just get more of an accurate representation of what to expect from that company. You know, I can sit here and say we're this, we're that. Whereas if you look at somewhere like Homecare, you've got more accurate information, I would guess.
So is there a quality assurance for each care provider? Is there something that they can look out for that sets one care provider out from the rest?
Accreditations and
absolutely. You've got the CQC rating. Obviously, right at Home Mid Hampshire are outstanding, can I just say, because we are outstanding.
Other home care services and businesses available.
But we're outstanding. So come to Right at Home Mid Hampshire for all your care needs. But yeah, no. I think the CQC rating is the major one. And then somewhere like homecare.co.uk does have sort of like a star rating. I think we're 9.9. 9.9 because we're outstanding.
As of today, yes, 9.9.
So yeah, and you know, you get things in there like the quality of service, like the value for money. There's different areas that people can rate us. So I think that's a really good tool when it comes to trying to source a suitable care provider.
Yeah. So there's specific things they can look out for, which will set certain providers over
absolutely. It
from the
has
rest.
all the services that we offer. You know, everything that we can support with. As we've said earlier, medication, personal care, food preparation, like housekeeping, accessing the community, etc., etc. So yeah, everything is listed on there.
So Chloe, is there certain questions that families should be asking when interviewing home care providers?
I mean, one of the questions I do get asked a lot, both at the initial stages of inquiry and when I go out to do an initial home assessment, is about the consistency and continuity of carers. You know, a lot of providers, will just send in carers willy-nilly. You know, people will see a lot of different faces, a lot of different people, and that's quite hard to comprehend and process. One of the reasons consistency and continuity is so important to Right at Home Mid Hampshire is our managing director, Nick Turner. His mother had Alzheimer's and had a lot of different carers coming and going. You know, just, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for the carers, it doesn't work for the clients. So, you know, that is a real priority for us when it comes to scheduling. We can't always, you know, guarantee it'll be the same person day in, day out, but as small a team of people as possible just to really build on that relationship and level of rapport. But, you know, there's so many different questions that families can ask, and there really is no such thing as a silly question. You know, if it's the first time you're looking into a package of care, it really can be a bit of a minefield.
Yeah.
So, you know, even if I can't provide the required information or answer to said question at that time, I will go away, I will try and come back with that answer. But, you know, we're there to support families as much as we are to support the clients.
Yeah, that's good. And like you say, I think, you know, you don't know all the answers, but you will endeavour to find out the answers to a question. And there are so many agencies that are involved in adult care.
And that's why we say,
it's pointing people in the right direction, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's so important to have those good working relationships with other professionals, because we do need to pull on each other at some point or another, just to make sure that
together, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think so. The answer to that question is,
there's no such thing as a silly question.
Yeah, and any question is worth asking.
Absolutely.
I think that brings us to a good point to maybe address what might be the elephant in the room. Is naturally with a service there are costs and financial considerations. Yeah. So is there any typical costs associated with home care services? You know, do you pay a flat rate? Is it dependent on your needs?
So we do have a flat rate for domiciliary care. We start off from half-hour visits, do 45-minute visits, 60-minute visits plus. So we do pay a flat rate. We don't sort of vary our prices dependent upon activity or needs.
Is it more expensive at weekends to weekdays?
It is indeed. So we do have a slightly higher price at weekends. And, you know, we also provide living care. As we said earlier, we go from sort of 2 hours a week right up to living care. That's when it does become dependent upon needs and requirements. So the price can vary slightly, but that will be determined at point of assessment.
I think, as you just said, is the thing that differs between different home care providers is the length of visit. So not all home care providers will offer a 30-minute call. So it's worth noting, if someone was to seek a home care service, if they are looking for a shorter call, that not all...
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's 30-minute calls for Right at Home Mid Hampshire is quite a new thing. You know, we're of the opinion that we don't want to be rushing our clients. You know, we want them to be able to take their time. If you rush, that's how accidents happen. But, you know, again, it just enables people to spend a bit more time, have a chat, provide a bit of companionship, really work on building up that rapport and relationship.
So, in regards to the 30-minute call, you said that we haven't done it for long. Was there a reason why we went to a 30-minute call? Because, obviously, I really enjoyed... The reasons we were doing an hour call were because of the not rushing, but did we see a need that people didn't necessarily need an hour, but
Absolutely.
when you're assessing, you will make that call, and if a half hour isn't enough?
Absolutely. So, I mean, there are some providers that provide 15-minute calls. I mean, I personally... I'm not sure what you can achieve in 15 minutes.
It's such a short amount of time.
An in and out job. I mean, I'd still be on my, hiya, how are you? What have you been up to? Oh, I got to go, and I wouldn't get anything done. Yeah. But yeah, you know, there are some tasks that can be achieved in half an hour, but it still enables you to spend a decent amount of time with a client.
There's not enough time for a cup of tea either in 15 minutes.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, I don't see the point.
So... obviously, communication with the caregivers is such an important thing for families to do, because, you know, there needs to be that clear communication so everything runs smoothly. Is there a way you'd say families can establish effective communication with their caregivers to ensure that everything runs smoothly?
So communication is key, absolutely, and no doubt the families of our clients do build up good relationships with our caregivers, but we would always sort of try and request that everything comes through the office. That way we can just make sure that we're in the know, make sure that, you know, the adequate level of care is in place, that everything's going to plan, and just sort of oversee that level of care that's in place.
Rather than speaking to the caregiver directly.
Absolutely.
Got to funnel through.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's quite a lot that could get lost in translation going through.
Exactly so.
Yeah. So... why is continuity of care important, and how can it be ensured?
You know, it's not just important for the client, but it works so much better for the carers as well. Like, you guys know, we're all trained caregivers in here. If you have to go into a client that you're not familiar with, it's quite daunting. You know, people do have certain ways of doing things. People do have their likes and their preferences. And if you're not used to that person, you know, you don't want to be going in and potentially doing something differently, or, you know, or upsetting their day. So, You know, that consistency really is important. You know, having care is a real private and personal thing. You know, if we look at personal care, for example, you know, it is effectively a stranger coming into your home. You know, you want to feel comfortable with that person. You want to feel safe with that person.
And I suppose you don't want to keep repeating the same things over and over again
exactly
either as a client.
You'll build and develop a routine between yourselves. So then, you know, you can get more from the visit. You can just come in, do what you need to do, you know, without asking, oh, where's this, where's that? Or it works so much better for everyone involved.
Yeah. Can you share a success story or two about how Right at Home Mid Hampshire has made a positive impact on clients and their families?
Yeah, absolutely. So last year, when it was the King's coronation, one of our clients shared that she had a small Tupperware box with 2 pork pies in. That was going to be her way of celebrating because she didn't have anybody to celebrate with.
Yeah.
Really tugged on our heartstrings, and we were like, we can't allow this to happen. So really last minute, literally within I think it's maybe 2-3 days, we somehow decided and managed to pull off a coronation party for all of our carers and all of our clients. It was great. Hired a community hall, had like an afternoon tea, decorations. It was brilliant. Everyone had such a good time. We then decided every sort of like 4 weeks or every month we would try and do the same. So we hire a local community hall called the YMCA in Eastleigh, and we arrange for our clients to be collected by our carers, and we put on an afternoon tea. We try and theme them. You know, we've had a 10-year anniversary party to celebrate 10 years of Right at Home.
I hear you have fish and chips as well at one.
We absolutely had fish and chips at one. At Christmas, we had a catering company come in and cook Christmas dinner for everybody. We had like a raffle. I think next week we've got the Olympic Games coming up.
We have got the
That'll
Olympic
be
Games.
interesting.
I think we've got some exciting games to play there.
Come in. I think the thing for me, as someone that's, you know, not actually been in the industry for as long as you two, one of the big things about those lunch clubs is seeing the interaction between clients, because
absolutely
seeing them chat and talk to people who are going through the same things as them, I think, is the most special part of it.
I think it brings them to the community, doesn't it? Which they can become quite insular when they're living in their own homes.
Absolutely. And you know, they realise actually with a bit of support they can still get out into the community, they can still have a good time. You know, we have a table of ladies that sit together, and you know, there's a couple of sisters that come, 2 sets of sisters that come, and they just welcome anybody onto their table. They absolutely love it. You know, they look forward to catching up with each other. And you know, obviously where we cover certain territories, there's some people that live in the same road, so they'll then go for coffee. You know, but we're really trying to help people have that quality of life and get back out into the community. When it was Dementia Week, we took some of our clients that are living with dementia down to Carlo's in Wellow for ice cream. They loved it. Went out and had a look side at the animals. It was a beautiful day. But you know, it's little things like this that
I think we've seen emails passing as well, haven't we, between some clients?
We have indeed. We have indeed. So you know, it makes such a difference to them, and you know, it's something that we're able to enjoy as well, and just seeing the difference that it makes, And
naturally, we do also have sometimes where a client and another client, you know, maybe don't agree with everything. So that is what comes with human interaction, isn't it? And you'll get a client go, oh, could I not be sat next to them?
Yeah, we know
week,
where
please?
to sit certain people. Where not to sit certain people.
So that sounds great. But going back to how families face challenges when they're choosing home care, what are the common challenges they face and how can they overcome them?
So I think funding is probably the most obvious challenge that families and loved ones will come up against when trying to put in place a package of care. So we are predominantly a private provider. People should be aware that there is a threshold which makes you eligible for funding. So that threshold is £23,500. Okay, it's always advisable that when somebody reaches around £26,000, they then start to look into what help is available to them. And I would recommend either going to your local authority, to the adult services at the local authority, or going to your GP and requesting a financial assessment.
Yeah.
They will then be able to review all of your finances and see what you are entitled to, what sort of support you are entitled to.
Amazing.
And when it comes to funding, obviously, if they've had care from, say, Right at Home for a period of time and they get to this threshold, can they continue care with Right at Home, or is there a way they can get like direct payments? I've heard that mentioned a few times.
So the Care Act brought about something called direct payments, which basically entitles an individual to have more control over their own care. So direct payments is where money is paid to you by the local authority, or in this instance Hampshire County Council, so that you can arrange care services for yourself, and then you may have to pay a top up. So the local authority will have some providers, have contracts with some providers and agreed rates with them.
So just sort of coming to the end, how can listeners get in touch with Right at Home Mid Hampshire for more information and some assistance for us to get some care?
So you can literally give us a call just to have a chat. Myself or one of you guys or another member of the friendly team will be happy to take a call. So you can contact us on 02380 009595, or you can go to our website. Sam, that's your domain. Our website is
www.rightathome.co.uk/midhands.
And I think we have a live chat.
Yes, we have a live chat on the website.
We have a live chat, so you can ask any questions, any queries, which will then be directed through to myself, and I'm more than happy to contact you back.
And come and visit, I would
Come
say.
visit,
I know
yeah.
It's an open door policy.
Open door policy.
Open door policy. So
The
yeah.
occasional dog in the office as well.
We love a right
Everyone
at home
loves.
pooch. So yeah, we quite often have pups running around the office.
Yes.
But yeah, no. Always, kettle's always on. Usually a cake or something nice to eat floating around. So pop in and see us.
I think that brings us to a natural close, really.
Thanks very much, Chloe.
Yes, I'd like to
Cheers,
thank
guys.
Chloe. Thank you to you as well, Sarah,
Thanks,
as usual.
Sam.
And we look forward to the next episode, which will be coming out next month.
And do we know why it's going to be, Sam?
The next episode is going to be highlighting our caregiver, Maria Rose, and her journey. Yeah, Maria Rose is great. And her journey to becoming a team leader here with us, because her change in career was quite drastic when joining us. So that is a really great one. Yes. Thank you for listening, and we hope to see you all soon.
Ciao.
Take care. Bye.